All right, some more sinister thoughts. First, or Kim, cold training. It's better to be a little bit over cold than over warm, maybe. I don't know. It also depends too. It's like actually back in Providence days during the winter time, I would always try to be underdressed as much as possible, like wearing a t-shirt even though it's like snowing outside and shit. I think the nuance is allow yourself to go a little bit cold, but eventually you want your house or your home to be well heated. So one of the good things about living in these like minimalistic, you know, luxury condos is typically the whole building tends to be well heated, and as a consequence the upside is like even though it's like fucking snowing and hailstorming outside, you enter the lobby, it whoosh, all the warm airs. And actually I wonder if actually my theory, like don't mind everyone in your house, 90 to 95 99% of people's misery in the cold is their homes are underheated. So yeah, just during the winter time you cold, just crank up the heat. The best use of monies is on utilities to crank up the heat, the air, whatevs. If your home environment is not hospitable, just crank up the heat in your car and take a nap in your car is another thought. So some more thoughts. Yeah, I think so yeah, average American spends 90% of their time indoors, not a good thing. And you know, you think about it, right? It's like we don't become the mole people. It's like consider the average human being what their modus operandi is. Like it's like what, you keep working indoors indefinitely until you have enough money to buy, I don't know, a Lamborghini or a Ferrari or whatever. And technically when you're in a car, you're kind of like quote-unquote indoors as well. And I guess the other nuance is, I guess you could buy a convertible, no roof, right? Become roofless. Oh, another funny thing too is maybe moving forward, just stop quoting people, just take other people's words as your own. I mean, if you think about it too, right? Oh, UFC 300. If you think about it, forgot what I was gonna say. Anyways, oh yeah, indoors at the gym, right? So if you want a convertible, just get a used 1990 Miata. Super easy, stick, get it out of your system. I don't know, I think like I guess the good thing about getting, when I was in college, right? I think it's like my junior year, I got the red 1990 Mazda Miata. No power steering, no air conditioning, 5-speed, soft top, right? And yeah, it was fun. I enjoyed it, and then got out my system. So now I look at all these people driving the drop top 911s or whatevs. I'm like, it actually has zero appeal to me. So actually the irony is with stuff, and also the same thing with Leica cameras, whatever, right? Like sometimes you just do it and just get out of your system and then just move on to the next one. Because the problem in life is, as long as you're kind of curious about something and you don't kind of get out your system, it's going to always be nagging at you at the back of your head, like, you know, kind of like what if or what is, right? But once you kind of get out your system, then you could actually find out by yourself, it's like, oh, okay, I realized that this thing is kind of overrated, or, you know, whatever. Just kind of get out your system, then just move on to the next one. Yeah, good idea. And now it was funny too, because I went to the Culver Equinox, so I was kind of curious. Got a 3-day pass. I'm like, it's kind of like whatever, right? And so yeah, just get things out of your system and then just kind of move on to the next one. And yeah, so a lot of people, Yeah, I don't know, like I think in life a lot of us were kind of curious about just like kind of random superficial things. And I suppose the good thing about getting out of your system is while you're indulging your curiosity about XYZ, and then you done did it, and then you gain a deeper understanding of said thing, it's a good thing, because you like, I think in like Buddhism, whatever they call it, like direct experience. So in life you could only really understand things via direct experience, and then once you've actually did it in real life, then you could actually ascertain whether it's right for you or not. So the reason why, once again, you should not trust no conspiracy theories is people are inept. Even if you have 100 supervillains in a room plotting whatever, everyone is too procrastinating to actually accomplish it. Daniel Kahneman's Thinking Fast and Slow, like I think it calls it the planning fallacy, right? Let's say you have a bunch of professors like, okay, let's write a book. How long is it gonna take? Shouldn't take longer than 3 years. Then taking them 30 years, right? Or they never publish it, right? Or like never promise you send your friends something in the mail because you ain't never finna do it, right? Shout to Josh White. Iksan, South Korea, only 6,000 miles. I gotta go to Kaizuka, Japan. Urupa, sister cities. Oh, also that this spot here is pretty nice too. Yeah, just like 100% pedestrian lifestyle, right? So oh yeah, so some funny thoughts. Like, I don't think I've ever met nobody who's depressed who walks 30,000 steps a day. Seems like a good idea. Oh, and also the good thing about living here in Culver is, yeah, I don't know, like, is it? Is it the only place in LA that in fact you could actually get a 100% pedestrian lifestyle? Maybe. Oh, something I've been kind of curious about, right, is famous people who's short, right? So apparently Kim Kardashian is only 5'2". I'm like, what? I always thought she was way taller, right? And I think the reason why this is so important is that, like, the reason why you should trust nothing on the telly is, oh yeah, you kind of create these visions inside your head of what success is, blah blah, but until you met them in the flesh, is kind of. Also, trust no weightlifters, powerlifters, people who's shorty guys, because they always have some sort of Napoleon syndrome. Finna dip into the steroids sooner or later, because actually it's so funny too, because like one of the most funny things people always tell me when they meet me in real life, they're like, wow, Eric, you're so much taller in real life than I thought you was. It's because you're racist. You assume that every single Asian guy is kind of a shorty guy. Yeah. But alas, it's good to be tall, and I'm also lucky too. Cindy is like 5'3", 3.5. She's technically an inch taller than Kim Kardashian. That's good. And then Cindy's, I mean, I guess Cindy's mom did a good thing where Cindy's about like 4'10", 4'9". She's tiny. And she married Cindy's dad, who's like, he's pretty tall, he's like 5'9", maybe 5'9.5", whatever, right? So every single generation, you just look at it, right? So I'm always kind of curious, right? Like women, who they end up, I suppose, marrying. And it looks like, I mean, the intelligent women are the ones who marry up. or have kids up, like ideally you want your progeny to be taller than you was, right? So the ideal strategy for a woman or a man, either or, right, is you want to marry other tall people, and then your kid's gonna be taller. And I think it is an evolutionary advantage to be taller than shorter. There's really no benefit of being short.
Wait.
Unless, I don't know, maybe you're on a spaceship, I guess, right? But am I the first person to realize poor people tend to be shorter and richer people tend to be taller? Is kind of another class difference that I see, right? Yeah, and actually, I mean, like in the past too, it's like a kind of a nutrition thing, right? Is that like, even for myself, I'm like the tallest person in my whole family, is because I, you know, born in the States, grew up in the States, eating Costco hot dogs. Oh wow, look, new Integra Type S. Oh wow, it's super hard. I kind of like it. Yeah. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, it's super hard. Fucking Chase Muff. LA Writers Workshop Festival, January 26th to 28th. Oh, yeah, another funny thing about writers, right? If you're gonna be a writer, write outdoors. Not indoors. Yeah, I'm like all about this like outdoor lifestyle. Yeah, so if you want to spend more time outdoors but use cold, just buy merino wool, alpaca, Gore-Tex, layer up. And you know, people say, what's the meaning of life? I mean, like, there's no ultimate meaning to life, but there are more interesting ways you could live life. And also, don't buy a Tesla, don't buy any new car. Just buy an old used Prius Veneer car. Ideally just walk, right? Or just, you know, get a bike, assuming you don't die. Or you don't even need a bike, just walk. Just like, and everyone's into running. I'm like, y'all look like prey. Yeah, it seems like the best strategy is to just walk around all day. And I think also what we need to go beyond is this notion of like exercise. So people are like, yeah, but if you're running, I get X amount of calories burned. I'm like, no, it's like you running, you look like a sick. Like I have never met nobody who runs who actually looks fit. Only people who look fit are the sprinters. They're like the predators. Don't be like the cattle. And also all these like vegan weightlifter bar, it's like y'all just look like cattle. Plants for cattle. Yoga and fitness studio. Some other critiques, right? A lot of people who do yoga and stuff like that, it's all indoors. I mean, I guess the good thing about indoors yoga, well, at least when it's like the weather outside's not super nice, is like hot yoga when it's like really kind of cold and miserable outside does feel super good. But the weather is good, just do it out. Like, the reason why I feel like yoga is such a scam is that, dude, you can just do it yourself. Like, why you need to like end up in a class? Like, and I suppose the issue is with a lot of these you know, workout classes, right? It looks like the modern day human lacks the ability of like self-autonomy, I guess. Like why do you need other people to motivate you? Can't you just like motivate yourself? And then people are like, oh Eric, that's just you. I'm like, if I could do it, anyone could do it. Like, and people say, oh, you think you're so exceptional. I'm like, my funny thought is, Actually, in fact, I don't really think of myself that exceptional. I just think of myself like super duper normal. Yeah, Culver City. And as a consequence, I just treat myself as my own petri dish for my ideas. And ultimately, my motivation to others, like, yeah, if I could do it, so can you. So in some ways, the irony is, it's kind of elitist, but at the same time it's kind of not, because what I'm trying to ultimately promote is kind of more of a, yeah, I guess a inclusive thing or something. So I could do it and so can you. Yeah, so like even with fitness, working out is like getting super jacked without taking steroids or even taking protein powders. Becoming self-employed, turning your passion into a living. So I guess, yeah, ultimately moving forward, I'm just gonna try to prove more things to be true.